Hello, everyone, and I hope you're having a great day. So, in today's video, I want to tell you really about something I'm working on right now, and that is our renewal pipeline. You see, one of the things that I really obsess over, and I look through our CRM, which is HubSpot and our AMS every day, through every email and phone call, is I'm looking to remove friction. I want to see, hey, how hard are we making it for the customer to do business with us? Or how many steps is the employee or team member having to take a certain task that may be putting additional stress on them? What's causing maybe employee morale to come down because of this. So one of the things, the first thing I start looking at is our pipelines. And in this video today, what we're going to look at is actually the renewal pipeline. I'm going to show you how I'm using AI to kind of redo our renewal pipeline, fully understand the full process of creating a better customer experience, a better employee experience. So now let's jump over to the screen where I'm going to share with you on ChatGPT how I'm going to build a project specifically for renewal pipeline and exactly what we're going to go through to help build it out. All right, today we're talking about how do we improve our renewal pipeline? How do we create that better customer experience? I don't know if you've ever read Jeremy Coleman's Never Lose Another Customer, but the first 100 days is really important. Whether it's new business or through the renewal process, you can either keep them forever with the first 100 days or you can lose them real quick. And I just, even though we're not losing a ton of customers, I just feel like we're making things really difficult for customers. So one of the things I wanted to do is truly understand our renewal process. So what I've done is created over here on the left-hand side, I'm going to be creating a project. And I'm going to specifically call this renewal pipeline. Now you might ask, why a project over something regular with ChatGPT? Look, creating a GPT is awesome, but project can go just a little bit deeper. So as we create this project, it should create just a second. All right, so there we go. So when we go in here to this renewal project, let's start talking to it. We're going to add instructions. The purpose of this project is to help understand the renewal pipeline for the flood insurance guru. Here, I want to understand every aspect. I want to remove friction for our customers and our team members. I want to truly understand every touch point with the customer, every single thing we need to do with renewal from the first stage of 90 days out currently to 60 days out to 45, 30 days out to waiting on payment to either renewal was completed or renewal has been declined. And through that process, we also need to have a stage called renewal ready to bill, where it's sent to the mortgage company at least 30 days out. So how many truly understand our renewal process as we communicate with customers through this? So we're saving that as the instructions. Now let's start something simple like, help me build the renewal pipeline for the flood insurance guru. Let's just see what it does here. She's kind of remembered the instructions here, so it started at 90 days. Now look, currently we have it at 90 days, but I'm thinking about actually dropping that down to 60 days. Because what we're doing is we're talking about changes in the market to the customer at 90 days, and I feel like that could be triggering customers to maybe shop at 90 days before we've even gotten the renewal to even know what we're looking at. So I'm considering sending that renewal out at 60 days instead. That way when we have the renewal in our hands at 45 days, it's a different story. But let's go through this. I want to understand it. Every application we have to get signed. If we're charging a fee, the forms we have to get signed. If it's escrow bill, if it's customer bill, everything. So let's take a look at this. Currently at the 90 days, we're just sending out an email about what we're doing on the back end, and we're talking about changes in the market, price increases, risk changing, and all these things. We don't have the policy information on the new renewal policy typically till about 45 days before renewal. What I do first, I focus on each stage first. So I'm going to solely focus on this 90-day part, then the 60 days, then the 45 days. But as I said, I really get a good feeling. We're going to take this 90 days and eliminate it and just make it part of 60 days. In fact, let's ask it. Do you recommend that we eliminate the 90-day stage and really just start everything at 60 days before renewal, since we really don't get a copy of the renewal offer till typically about 45 days before renewal? And you kind of see the feedback it's giving about 90 days, why I should keep 90 days and all this different thing. And look, in my marketing with our customers, our referral partners, we always position ourselves as the guide, the customer is the hero through really the story brand framework and they ask you framework, which we have our certification in both. And so I'm always focused on those two things. How do we create clarity through our process? All right, let's go back to the 90-day stage and kind of start clearing things up and making sure that we've got clarity in there. Where we're sending out this video to the customer about what we're doing at 90 days, changes in the marketplace, potentially what they could expect at the upcoming renewal. All right, so we've kind of got our 90-day. This one's pretty simple. We're going to get kind of into some tricky stuff once we get to the 60 days. But it's talking about what's happening internally, what's happening externally. But what I'm really focused on is here what's happening really with the customer. Make sure we've got the right data. Like, for example, knowing whether it's mortgage pay or customer pay, which we're creating in a system internally when we created flood insurance policy the year before. But in this stage, as I said, it tells us right here about 90 days, about the email template I've already got built. Now, what's important is if it's a non-renewal, and we may have an 80% non-renewal rate in the private flood insurance market because of what's going on. So having kind of a parallel process for non-renewals is really important. Because a lot of times if the customer gets a non-renewal in the mail, they just think we're kind of abandoning them, which a lot of companies are. And we want them to know that we're here for them, that we're guiding them from this, and we're going to have coverage in place, all these different things. So there's a lot of moving parts we have to think about. But this is just the 90-day part. What we're doing at 90 days is, for example, you can see this email. I already have a video that goes out that tells them about all these things. I just want to kind of clear it up even more. But I also want to make sure that with all the content we have, that we're sharing the right content between our sales team and our marketing teams in the renewal process through AI. And please tell me what pieces of content from the Flood Insurance Guru you may also recommend of sending out to the customer at the 90-day mark to continue to build this trust. And this is, goes back really important to having those pieces of content where AI can help you generate that content, but having it on your website, having it in a learning center where you can continue to use it to build that trust with your clients through new business, through renewal, through the claims process, whatever it is. So right here, what happens during the flood insurance renewal? We could send out at 90 days. Also, the infographic, the blog on why flood insurance prices are changing, and we may have that linked inside the article inside the email that goes out with the video. Here's the thing: when they watch this video, we know how engaged they are. When they read this, we know how engaged they are. So when the renewal is coming up, we can kind of gauge customer behavior, knowing how interactive they are with us based on the content they're reading as well. It could tell us, hey, they're very engaged. The chances of losing them at renewal may not be as high as someone else because of this. And so we're using all these different things to AI with customer behavior and what they're doing online. For example, we may know that they're shopping for flood insurance automatically online based on different data we have on the back end with AI on trigger leads and all these things. But in here, we're just doing this internally, looking at videos they're watching, blogs they're reading, how long they're staying on those pages tells us how engaged they are. But it also tells our team, whether it's through automation or them manually sending it, what pieces of content can I share with the customer through the renewal process using artificial intelligence for recommendations to understand how I can build a better customer experience through the renewal process. So this is just the 90 days. I'm going to break this video up because it would be for really long videos on each stage. And I want you to really be able to understand. So each day this week, I'm going to do a different stage. This was the 90 days. The next day will be 60 days and 45 days. And really the 30 days and finishing the renewal up is what I'll discuss in the next video. So as you can see, as we go through this, it tells me different pieces of content and how we can explain to them the differences and things. And having an ebook or lead magnet, or even building a GPT here, including it in your email that they can use to understand these things. That might have an interactive avatar in there. And I'll show you how to build an interactive avatar later on with a different software that may be beneficial for you. Look, you may be interested in it, you may not. I'm not selling it or charging it. I'll just show you what we've built and what you potentially could build on your website. But this is just the 90-day mark. And you may not do anything at 90 days. For example, you might do stuff throughout the year. We don't do that much throughout the year on flood, unless it's something to do with flood risk changing, warning people, those kinds of things. But we're not doing a lot to stay in front of them throughout the year. Just a few touches, which typically on the traditional PNC, you want to do about 27 touches per year. We're just not doing that on the flood side. And so this is, as I said, a different customer story about how we help them and all these different things, how you can deliver these. And all these different things. So now you see how the AI can really help you. Then you can just copy this and throw it into a Google Doc and save it, send it to your team and have them put it into your learning center or whatever. Put it in some kind of Google Drive that you can save these things and make sure your sales team and your marketing team are coming together through this renewal process. I'm like, we'll send all the way through the renewal here, and we'll do another one with new business. We'll do another one with service. We'll do another one with claims. Because these are all areas where you can use artificial intelligence to continue to build the trust with your clients, build better morale for your team because of how you're implementing systems. So I hope everybody has a great day.